Welcome to tutorial number 167. In this tutorial, we are going to continue talking about the sheet metal features. And now we will talk about the next section after the gusset, the cuts section, which include the extruded cut, simple hole, and vent. And we'll see the differences in the extruded cut for the sheet metal and the simple hole. And then we'll have a look at some design library vents, kind of ready cuts, and then the most important part in this tutorial, the vent options. We will have a look at the vent feature options, which include the geometry, properties, flow area, reps, spars, fill-in boundary, and we will cover these options in one example. So start a new part and make a custom beam. Pick the front plane, line, and we'll make this shape. This is defined with some dimensions. And here we'll have an angle 120. Here, midpoint. So we have this side perpendicular to the base edge, and here we have an angle extruded with a sheet metal base. Make a thickness of 1 milli. The bend radius key factor 0.38. Click OK. Let's make it a little bit wider. So now let's try to make a cut in that edge. So select this face, start a sketch, normal to, and let's make a rectangle over here. And define it. So we have a rectangle, and we are going to make an extrude cut through this sheet metal. Go to sheet metal, extrude cut, and for now nothing is new. We already know about the extrude cut, and you have the arrow over here, and you have a second direction, and so on. Click OK. Return back to the cut extrude, edit feature, and now we would like to see the difference between the normal extrude cut and see what is additional when we are cutting through a sheet metal. Here, if you notice, you will have length to thickness. So if you click on that, the cut will be only through that. So if we just uncheck direction 2, the depth of the cut will be the same as the thickness of the sheet metal. So this is one thing. And another option, let's now click through all and cut through the second side, and click through all, and normal cut is unchecked. Click OK. You will notice that the cut over here is not perpendicular to the surface over here, and it is not as the most of the cut, because if you flatten the part, you will see the cut here with an angle, and in reality mostly the punch gives you straight cut similar to the cut in the first edge. So we can fix this. If you edit here and check normal cut, so it will give you a straight cut through the edge or perpendicular to the sheet. If you flatten and look again, so this cut here is more logical unflattened. So we saw the two differences in the extrude cut. So now let's move to the next is simple hole. So simple hole because as we know in the sheet metal you'll have only a hole, there will be no special holes for screws or so on. So you can create the simple hole directly in the sheet metal, and here you can make the diameter, change the diameter and the depth of the cut, and here you can check the face if you would like to have it perpendicular to that face. So just clear the selection and you have the draft option as well. Now I will talk about the design library vents or cuts. So to locate them, go to the design library, features, and here you will see sheet metal. And over there you will see many cut shapes. For example, we can pick this one and drag it, drop it directly on the surface. And once you drop that on surface, you will get the cut directly. And to the left here, you have the ability to edit sketch. If you go to the sketch over there, let's make it normal too. So smart dimension, we can add dimension over there. We can make it 10. And from this side, this side, 10. And also you can change on the dimensions of this shape. We can make it 1.5 and this will make it 4. When you are done, click finish and you will get this shape. So again, let's pick another sheet metal feature. This time we can try this shape and place it over there. And if you want to change the size, override the main dimensions, make it normal too. And this one we can make it 2, and this one can make it 1, and B can make it 10. So you have the chance to override the dimension values. And you can edit the sketch as well, add dimensions. Make it 40. When you are done, click finish. Now I will talk about the next feature and the most important feature in this tutorial, the vent feature over there. And it is an interesting feature, very nice to use and time saving. And we will show you how to use it with an example. We will make a ventilation grill. Start a new part. This time we will make a circular ventilation grill. Go to the top plane, draw a circle, and give it a dimension of 150 millimeter. Sheet metal. We have the values from the previous part. Click OK, and here you have this sheet metal disc. So we will draw a sketch. If you pick the vent feature, you will read a message over there that you need a 2D sketch. So let's make 2D sketch. Select that face, start a sketch, normal 2. We will make the boundary circle of that grill, and let's give it 125, and we will make lines, the lines of the grills or the ribs. And this line you can linear pattern, select pattern it on direction. Here we have 6 pattern. Click OK and repeat the same process on the other side. Click OK. And to support the ribs, we can make one rib in the center, or it's called spar. Let's make a line here and another line for testing over here. And we can add extra support the ribs in the center over there. We can make another inside circle and make it 30. Sketch trim. Okay. And now go to sheet metal, vent, and you will see the vent will already select your sketch. So the boundary, as we said, the outside boundary of the grill is the circle, and the feature will directly create this hole. And the face is the top face over there, and we will look later on the plate and the draft. The area is cut to 100%, so the flow is 100%. Now we can decrease that when we will make the ribs. The ribs, you can make them directly by selecting the line. So you'll notice how easy to work with the vent feature. And here you have only one option is activated, is the width of the rib. The reason on the sheet metal, because it is a plate of sheet metal and you don't have a solid feature. We will see later in another example how to use the rest of the option. But for now you have 5 millimeter and you can change it to 3 and you'll notice now we have 71% floor area. And if you think grips need some support, you can add sparse the line in the middle. And as well we can increase the width 5 millimeter 50 or 5 and make it 10, and then we can fill in boundary adding some extra support. Now this is select as spar, delete and fill in boundary be this circle. And for the spars we added this line as it is. If you want to add more support to the ribs, you can select this line, but for now I will remove it. So here you have the basic shape of the grill, and now to make it looks better we can add fillets to the edges. Go to the fillet and you can add 2 millimeter fillet, and you notice the fillet is applied to the grill. Now it looks okay. When you are done, click OK. 2 more holes to fix this grill. Here is another grill made by the vent feature. So this is a plastic grill, and I will go over the steps how I made this. Since it is a plastic grill, it is outside the scope of this series, but if you would like to see how it's made in details, I will put the link in the description below. If you go again to the vent feature, here the vent can be used for sheet metal and for plastic ventilation units. So this one is made by plastic, and we'll show you how it's made. First we extruded this plastic plate, and here is the main sketch, and then we use the ventilation feature to make the grill. And here I wanted to show you what we said before. When we are working with plastic parts, the rest of the options will be activated. So we have the depth here is activated, and it was not the same in the sheet metal. We saw that the depth is grayed out. And here is the plastic part. We added as well a draft, so it would be easier For injection molding, we applied the draft with 1 degree angle and affiliate 0.5 millimeter. The advantage of this plastic that we have a high open area because we made the ribs stronger by increasing the depth of the rib, and which we can see over there. We have 20, and if you click 10, you can notice. You can change the way you would like, and let's make it back again 20. And instead of making the rib wider and decrease the flow area, we can increase the depth, and that will increase the strength of the grill. So we have almost 77% open area. And the same thing with spars. You have the depth value is activated, which you can increase it or decrease it. So this is the main point of this grill, and then we made a cut to remove the extra materials. So here is the grill. It looks nice, and all is done in just few steps with the vent feature.